All right, it looks like we got some bad news and we got some sad news. And I would ask you which one you want first, but I don't think you can really respond in real time. Maybe you can kind of see behind me that we got some bad news over here because the price is currently taking a little bit of a dip. And it looks like at the time of recording, Bitcoin is just underneath $26,000 at about $25,945. The main reason why this is happening is because of what I was talking about earlier in the week, how we had the deadlines coming up for the first Bitcoin spot ETFs. And as I was saying, if it actually got approved, then that would probably send us shooting to the upside. But since everybody was so hyped up about it and really looking forward to it, if they actually got delayed for another month, then we might have some downward momentum through the month of September. According to this article by CoinDesk, the SEC has delayed the spot Bitcoin ETF decisions for all applicants until October. It is Friday and we do have a long weekend with Labor Day being on Monday. And like I was saying, I figured that it was probably going to be done by the end of today. Because if you look here at the deadlines, the BlackRock deadline is actually tomorrow, which is Saturday and part of the weekend. So generally, I figured that they would probably get this done. And now the next deadlines are coming up on about the 16th and the 17th. With ARK being on the 13th, but I'm guessing that that'll probably be delayed because BlackRock is obviously going to get the first one. I mean, I could definitely be wrong, but that's pretty much what everybody seems to agree on. If you look here at the Bitcoin monthly returns percentage for every month in the history of Bitcoin, you can see that Bitcoin has only had 2 positive months in September, and they were all the way back in 2015 and 2016, with them only going up about 6% in 2016 and only 2.35% in 2015. So this means that even if we did beat the odds and started to make a little bit of gains here, it's probably not going to be anything astronomical, and it would probably even be short-lived, especially since everybody's going to be looking forward to that deadline once again in October to see if the BlackRock ETF is actually going to be approved and if we can actually go to the moon from there. Hopefully, though, this price action won't actually make a significant lower low here. And if we do find actually a little bit of support here at the levels that we're sitting at, we could be putting in one of these inverse hammer candles with a bullish divergence that could play out to the upside. But it's not looking great to me, and I think that we could possibly even be coming back down here to retest some of these weekly moving averages, which the only one below us is the 50-week moving average. And that's sitting pretty much at this previous high from earlier in the year at about $24,000. I'm not really sure where we're going to find support, and I'm not really saying that we're necessarily going to make a lower low. I'm just pretty uncertain on what's going to be happening over the next month or so, because it doesn't look like we have any real negative or positive catalysts, and everybody is going to be definitely looking forward to that Bitcoin ETF. And with it being such a big catalyst, even if we do see some movements this month, it's probably going to not really matter whenever we finally get a decision on what's going to happen with the ETF. All right, I think I've said ETF and deadline and stuff like that enough times today, so let's go ahead and move on to the next subject, which is unfortunately the sad one. Here we got some more tea from the BitBoy crypto crew, and I don't really have any jokes because, as I've said in the past, I'm not the biggest fan of BitBoy personally, but I wouldn't wish what he's going through on anybody, and I really just hope that their whole crew and everybody makes it through this and comes out stronger on the other side.
We received the following video from Ben today. While it does not address all of the issues that led to Ben's removal, we believe it does shed some light on some of those issues. Ben has asked us to share this video with you now.
First of all, I want to say, there's been a lot of people talking about how they should have took a break, or there should have been some kind of situation where they went off air or kind of explained things more thoroughly or kind of let the community know what was going on. And it does look like TJ there was having a bit of a rough time. He kind of looked swollen and just a little bit rough, meaning that I know that this has been weighing on his shoulders pretty heavily, and it does seem like he's just trying to keep the business going. But I'm sure there's been a lot of tough decisions that had to be made, and I don't envy anybody in this situation.
Hey guys, this is not the easiest video that I ever had to make by any stretch of the imagination, and I've got a couple words on a piece of paper. This is all from the heart. I got some topics that I want to cover. Is that serious? That was not, I guess that's a comic relief we all needed at this moment. You have to laugh until you cry. So.
How great are Doges? I mean, even in your roughest times, all it takes is one of these guys to cheer you up. even when things are as bad as they could possibly be. I guess that's why they call him man's best friend. Good boy.
First, I'm sorry. Sorry to the Bit Squad. I know I let people down. I know that. I've let my family down. I've let the Bit Squad down. I've let everybody down. I failed. I was so strong for so long.
I want to say that it does take somebody that is still actually very strong to admit that they've messed up, and especially to come in front of millions of people and make a video like this, admitting your mistakes and trying to move forward with your life.
I've been at rock bottom before. I know what it feels like. I'm there again. So, the word relapse is an interesting word because I think the way I interpret it and the way other people may have interpreted it are not the same. I haven't done cocaine, haven't done meth, haven't done drugs like that. Didn't relapse, but I've been taking diet pills and I've been taking some steroids, some stuff that I thought was helping me. It helped me get my body in shape. You guys know I was very out of shape. I was doing everything I can to try to do the best. And, you know, the thing is that I guess I was acting crazier than I thought I was.
Like I said in my last video, I'm also a former addict. And really, if you're a former addict, then a lot of people say that you're always an addict. I don't like to keep that mentality, but it is important to replace your addictions with basically other addictions, meaning that I guess kind of you are an addict forever. I've tried to replace all of my addictions with stuff like making YouTube videos and trying to better myself, working out, and just learning and focusing on other things that could occupy my time. And as a man, obviously everybody wants to be strong, and we all have these societal pressures to look really great, especially if you're going to be on camera and stuff like that all day. And while getting on steroids and those things is definitely trying to better himself and stuff like that, it is really easy to replace, like I said, your previous addictions with something that could be bad. And it looks like things just kind of got out of hand for him a little bit. I wouldn't consider this to be a total relapse or anything like that, but it does seem like he had a relapse for his addiction and not a specific drug. Basically, his addictive personality got a hold of him, and it made him act out in ways that he didn't really intend to, or that weren't good for his business, his community, and his family.
These things were affecting me more than I thought they were. And everybody around it could see me, and I just couldn't see it.
And that's the way addiction is sometimes. Sometimes you just can't see what is actually going on, and it takes an outside perspective to show you how out of hand things have really gotten.
And obviously, a lot of people know at this point, and if you don't, you're going to know now, I had an affair. I did.
Oof.
And I know that I have a family brand. That's my brand, family. And this is my family. And I had an affair, and it went on for a while, and you know, the other person is not a bad person. I want to say that. I take full responsibility for all of this. And, you know, what says family more than staying together when you go through something like this?
This man is very lucky, really. Like, I'm surprised she's sitting there with her hand on his shoulder like that. She looks really supportive. And I know, obviously, temptation can be really pretty crazy. And if you're suddenly rich and riding around in Lamborghinis and stuff, I bet it's really hard to say no to some of the beautiful women out there. But man, that's really one of the biggest mistakes you could really ever make, because especially if you got somebody like this that really loves and supports you like that, it's going to be hard to come back from that. And I just hope that they can figure this situation out.
And we're going to stay together.
Yeah, well, I love him so much, and everyone all couples go through hard times, and I believe in redemption, and I believe in hope, and
I mean, I'm not a marriage counselor, and this is not really any of my business, but I think that remains to be seen. It's going to take some time for them to come to terms with this situation and for him to prove that he can be trusted to her again. It does seem like she really loves him, and that's great for him, and I really hope they can work things out, but from personal experience, I'll let you know that's a really hard thing to come back from, and that's just not a mistake you want to make.
I fully believe that Ben and we've invested too much in our relationship for either one of us to walk away. So we are committed to making us a priority and coming out a lot stronger as a couple and ultimately as a family.
So we're going to work through this. It's going to be really hard. It's going to be really hard for my kids. I'm sorry to them. Very sorry I let them down. I just think at the end of the day, my perspective of what was going on was probably not accurate. The truth may be somewhere in the middle, but the fact is that I've messed up, and I can't make an excuse for an affair. I can't make an excuse for it.
Well, there's definitely no excuse for that, and it's definitely going to be really hard to come back from all of that. But the first step is really to accept that you've made a mistake so that you can face it and move on. And it does take a really strong person to come out and really admit all of these things. So hopefully this is the beginning of the healing for BitBoy Crypto, or for Ben Armstrong himself and his family, and I really do hope him the best. This video is really getting sad, and I'm not going to watch the rest of it, but if you want to watch the rest of it, then it is over on the BitBoy Crypto channel. Basically, in summary, what you want to do is not lose your head if you make a bunch of money, and cherish the people that care about you, because whenever you lose that trust, it's really hard to gain it back. Today on the economic calendar, it looks like we've got hourly earnings reports, non-farm payrolls, unemployment rates, ISM manufacturing PMI, and some more ISM manufacturing prices. The average hourly earnings came in lower than expected at 0.2%, with the forecast of 0.3% and the previous being 0.4%. The unemployment rate came in higher than expected at 3.8%, with a forecast of 3.5% and the previous being 3.5%. And this is a good sign that hopefully the labor market is starting to loosen up a little bit, and with the economy slowing down, maybe this is a sign that the Fed can continue with their pause. But none of this information is really market moving in my opinion, and it looks like next week we also have a pretty boring week, with it only being the S&P Global U.S. Services PMI coming out on Wednesday, with the ISM non-manufacturing, and then on Thursday we got initial jobless claims. It's going to be a short week because Labor Day is on Monday, and it looks like probably there's not going to be very many big things to move the market unless something just pops up out of nowhere. If there's no new news, then we might continue to see this pressure from this article right here saying that we had the delay on the spot Bitcoin ETF decisions. And basically this headline might be what moves the markets until we get something new. And if something new happens over the next month, then it might not really matter, because whenever this deadline finally comes to pass in October and it's delayed or approved, then that's probably going to take precedent over the whole market and be the deciding factor on which direction we go for the rest of the year. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are we going to be going down all month, or are we going to go sideways? Maybe we'll even have a surprise to the upside. Either way, don't forget that there's new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with early access on X, and if you want real-time updates, then you can find those in my free Discord, link down in the description. To show support, you can find my gear over at onlygoodcrypto.com. And don't forget to like, subscribe, or follow on X. But most importantly, don't forget to have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. This is Ibisu. He's named after one of the 7 lucky gods of Japan. According to legend, he will bring wealth and prosperity to anybody who evokes his name. So don't forget to write his name in the comments, or you'll bring dishonor to your whole portfolio. And check out this video right here. Say goodbye, Ibisu.